Nerissa, what did I ask you to trademark?
Let's go.
Yes, let's get this party started. It is Wednesday, beautiful people. February the 7th. Wow, where is the time going? We have completed a first week in February, the month of love. Nerissa and I are rocking our pink, our peachy, our red, our blush. Yes, for Valentine's. I'm putting a little bit of African, have my earring going here for Black History Month. What else happens in February? It's President's Day, Abe Lincoln's birthday. There's a holiday for that. So welcome to the month of February. I'm going to ask our fabulous Kingdom marriage coach to introduce herself, Miss Nerissa. Please introduce yourself to our people who are listening.
Thank you, Tish.
Of course.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Nerissa Edden, your Kingdom Wife Champion, because of the original champion who lives inside of me, and that is
Yes.
God the Almighty. I
Yes.
am called to wives and wives in waiting that desire a top tier marriage, a top tier relationship. And I come alongside them as the best wife coach to help them have hope and strengthen them and infuse that belief into them that they too could have an amazing and restored marriage.
Wow. Nerissa, I have a takeaway and I'm going to post it on Facebook. You said wife in waiting. I am a wife in waiting. Yes. I love it. That was pretty sexy. You were called to Kingdom Wives and Wives in Waiting. Let's pull up our deck here. The first question asks, when I think of wife champion, I think of a winner who has had a total knockout in the ring against the enemy of marriage. How have you earned that heavyweight title?
So I love answering this question because it just reminds me and constantly points me to the sovereignty of God.
Yes.
And you really don't understand what it is to be in victory unless you've been knocked down and you know the
Woo!
opposite of that.
Marissa, you are dropping bars. You are
So,
dropping bars. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
no,
Go
no, no, you're
ahead.
fine. You're fine. So to answer your question, it is the fact that God told me the bounce back is real and that I was knocked down and I was in a place in my marriage specifically and really in my faith where I was leaving God completely out of it. And so I was going to keep hitting rock bottom until I understood and until, as one of my sisters, Louise, likes to say, until he came to see about me.
Mhm.
And that is why I say that I understand what it is to have fallen and get back up, to overcome, to bounce back, if you will.
Yes. Wow, Nerissa. How many years have you been married?
26 years, 26 years. Praise God.
You
Hallelujah.
look 26. Girl, you
Oh,
looking good. Yes. You
thank
are
you, sister.
beautiful, my sister. But ladies and gentlemen, Miss Nerissa is not only beautiful on the outside. She has a heart of gold. She has a platinum heart. I think it's higher than gold. It's higher than gold. Just your
Thank
servitude,
you,
your
sis.
love for people. God just uses you. And I just love to see you in your element. Love
Amen.
it, love it,
Thank
love
you.
it, love it. My
Thank you.
pleasure. So Narissa is called to wives in waiting. She was on her back. She was knocked out, but she rose triumphant
Mm.
because she has the champion of all champions that lives inside of her. Powerful stuff, man, girl, powerful. I
Amen.
believe that marriage is a gift. and a gift that can be passed down to the next generation. How could a kingdom wife like yourself make that happen?
Not giving up.
Hmm.
Not giving up is so much more important and holds so much more weight than a lot of people realize. It is not giving up, and it is understanding that a threefold cord is not easily broken,
Yes.
that God lays out clear as day the things that a wife and a suitable helper are to really live like in the gospel, in the word of God, and that it's laid out for us.
Yeah.
It is it's not something that I'm going to say is easy, but it all starts with the heart posture. And
Mm.
once that heart posture has been affected, and once that heart posture has been infected by
Yeah.
God Himself, you can't help but live like a kingdom wife. You can't help but speak like a kingdom wife. You
Yeah.
can't help but respond with kingdom wife wifedom. And it is definitely coupled with the desire to see your marriage win,
Yes.
knowing that God has done it for so many people, that
Yes.
He's no respecter of person.
Yeah.
And what He did for others, He'll do for you. And He did for me. So
Oh wow. Oh wow. I am thinking of having the desire not to quit. Not to quit. I think it takes two. It definitely takes two people to really have that committed, like no matter what, we are in it. There is a gentleman that I know, his wife's parents have been married for over, I think they celebrated 65 years of marriage. They're in their 80s. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is such a long time, either 60 or 65. And that speaks to exactly what you're talking about, being determined not to quit. Because I know there are ups and downs and all arounds, and some days you're like, ah, but just having that premise, no matter what, we are in this thing together. I love it. Amazing. Let's see. Next question asks, on the contrary, what are some common habits exhibited that can cause the children in the home, if that is marriage? Let me say that again. On the contrary, so we just talked about passing it down, having a couple who are committed to the end, they can pass it down because that's what the household would know.
mhm.
However, on the contrary, what are some common habits that may be exhibited that would cause that child or children in the home who may see toxicity that to say, if that is marriage, I don't want it.
I believe that not being able to overcome struggles and challenges when children are exposed to either a quitting parent or a parent that is in a relationship that they don't see any resolve, that can definitely discourage a child
Yeah.
from wanting the sanctity of marriage, from understanding the institution of marriage.
Mm.
I also believe that a team spirit, a
Yes.
team effort, a team mindset
Mhm.
is absolutely necessary
Mhm.
in a family, so that the children can see that the parents and the husband and wife are operating like one team, one mind, one line.
Yeah.
Um, I used to, when I would go to my boys, we have four boys,
Mhm.
bless God. And when we would go to the games, when I would
Mhm.
go to the games, there was a chant that
Mhm.
I used to say, and I've shared it on platforms before. But this is precisely, it speaks to what kids need to see. And it was, you gotta want it to win it. And we want it more. You gotta want it to win it. And we want it more. So I,
Yes.
so I say that to say that that was something that I'm grateful that our children saw us not only struggle, but saw us stick with it and saw us as husband and wife go through some challenging seasons and
Yeah.
have a stick to itiveness
Yes.
to want to work it out. And so that helped teach them and expose them to conflict resolution,
Yes.
because it's not always perfect.
That's right.
So I would say that you have to really be very honest with yourself and with
Mm-hmm.
your spouse and with your child, and allow them to see that yes, there may be struggling days, but it won't always be that way. And that if you can work towards something like your marriage, like your family, it should make a child desire it, not run away from it and
Absolutely,
not discourage it.
absolutely, absolutely. If I could think about, so where there is not healthy conflict resolution that would cause a child or children not to want it, if there's any type of abuse, even if it's not physical, verbal, emotional, I would also say perhaps sometimes finances,
Mhm.
can be a reason where people do not stick together, or just plain out abandonment, right? If someone abandons the family, you would have that child say, man, yeah, this is for the birds, but I'm so
Mm.
grateful that God has blessed you with 4 sons, and that you even got a Edden soundtrack from their game that you could just continue to encourage your family to
Yes.
want it more and to
Yes.
stick together. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
We're better together. And that
Absolutely.
there's so many things that I think come across in society as cliche,
Hmm.
but when you apply them, there's so much truth to them.
Yes.
And we really are better together. And I would be remiss if I did not mention my most phenomenal, amazing grandson, the smartest 1 year old on the planet. His
Oh,
name is Oliver. So I wanted to make sure to say that. Yeah.
yes. Shout out
Mhm.
to Oliver. I love it. So you have, oh my gosh, your children's children, girl, you are
Yeah.
blessed. Blessed, 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 blessed. Love it. Thank you, God, for Oliver. What are healthy remedies a couple or wife, to be more specific,
Mhm.
can do on a regular basis to keep her marriage healthy? What can a wife do to keep her marriage healthy?
I'm going to start and end with prayer. I saw a radical difference in my marriage when I included prayer with my spouse and prayer
Mhm,
over my spouse. I can't
mhm.
say that enough. Taking, I don't care if it's 2 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it takes, which is
Yes.
funny because that's one of my very hold dear to my heart phrases.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll explain that a little bit later, but definitely praying together,
Yes.
um, and not dismissing that or allowing interruptions and distractions to keep
Mhm,
you from that. I also shared with you one time when we spoke about uh, learning from other couples, other seasoned vets, and
absolutely.
other different counselors and pastors and what have you. And one that I learned from, it was one that I saw, I remember on Twitter, called Stronger Marriages. And it was
Mhm.
the 222 rule. And this can really enhance a marriage, is applying the 222 rule. Every 2 weeks, go out on a date. Tish, it's so important. It is. I'm telling you, you got to keep it spicy. Every
Yes.
2 weeks, a date every 2 months, staying somewhere overnight, letting
Mhm.
that refresh you. And then every 2 years, being intentional about going away together.
I love it. The 222. Ladies, wives, are you listening? You gotta go for date night at least every 2 weeks. You can't
Yeah.
let it go into a third week and you haven't gone on a date. You want to make sure that you are, finding an Airbnb that's local. You don't have to go really far to do that every 2 months. And then definitely every 2 years, as Nerissa, our Kingdom Wife champion, has encouraged you to make sure that you get on a vacation and get some
Non-negotiable. Non-negotiables, Tish. There
get
have to
them.
be some boundaries that
Yeah.
looking back now, I didn't have any I wasn't even taught this when I first got married. So
Mhm.
26 years in the game. I can look back now and say, oh, wow, if I would have had some boundaries, if I would have had some non negotiables, like going out on a date, like not starting my day without prayer with my spouse,
Yes.
things, you never know. But to God be the glory. He knew what he was doing. So,
Yes, yes, girl. He got you victoriously out from the knockout. It was not a total knockout. He got you back up on that feet. I heard it said people are like flies at a screen door concerning marriage. Those who are on the inside want to get out, and those who are on the outside want to get in. What advice would you give to wives who are looking to exit their marriage and singles looking to get into marriage?
great question. Wives that are looking to exit their marriage, because I was once that wife, I can say that they must watch who they surround themselves with.
Mhm.
They also must decide that that their family and that their marriage will be better for
Yeah.
them actually applying effort
Mhm.
and exhausting all options. And what I mean by that is, have you tried a wife coach? Have you tried counseling? Have you tried a pastor? Have you tried fasting? Have you
Mhm.
exhausted all of your options before you believe that the exit plan is the best plan?
Mhm.
And then for singles that want to get in, it actually kind of hurts my heart when I hear that people want to exit, but I understand how the enemy works and how life can, come about with different financial, struggles and different relational distresses that
Mhm.
can, make someone feel like they need to exit. But
Yes.
I'm just going to say, and I say this often, is not only completely consult God about this, but go try one more day, just
Yes.
one more day.
Yes.
Um, and then for singles that want
Mhm.
to, maybe, find a marriage,
Yeah.
get married,
Mhm.
I like to make sure that I share with them that selfishness cannot be a part of their bag of qualities, their
Yes.
arsenal,
Yeah.
because marriage is not for the weary and marriage is not for the selfish.
That's right.
It is quite the contrary. It is a
Mhm.
selfless
Yes.
journey.
Mhm.
So I want any single lady that is to
Mhm.
hear this to understand that not only are they not bound by time, that God is not bound by time,
Yes.
that He has just the right person for them, and that person is to come just at the right
Um,
time,
yeah.
but also that they do their part,
Mhm.
that they start to do different things,
Mhm.
to really train themselves up to be that helpmeet and that
Mhm.
suitable helper that God has already planned and destined for them to be.
Yes. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It is not for the selfish. It is to, I was speaking to a friend and that person was married for a long time as well, for 20 plus years, like you. And they mentioned about their former spouse, and I'm like, wow, you were married for that long, and your spouse didn't do something as simple as that? I was just blown away of just how, like you said, it's not about you in marriage. Pastor Henry Wright would always say, you are to serve the other person. You guys should be, if there's any competition, you guys should be out loving, out serving one another.
Mm,
I know that she
I
loves
love that.
these flowers. I'm going to get them for her. And it's not even Valentine's, but I know
Just
she loves
because.
these.
Yeah.
Yes. Or, I know the game is coming, football's coming, I'm gonna get some extra appetizers because it's just gonna make the day better because I know he's gonna like that. Just making plans, thinking ahead. How can I put a smile on this person's face? How can I make it lighter, the burden lighter for them? That should be the thought process of giving and not getting, like, whatever that thing is. Some people are, I know their love language or maybe gifts, but it's more than just what you can get. It's a lot about what you can give. For
Everything.
sure.
It really has taught me a lot about myself, because ultimately God will show you when you ask Him to bless your marriage or restore or repair or enhance your marriage in any way. So I can share with you that a kingdom marriage will march to its own beat. It
Mhm.
really will. And giving and loving, and as you said, out loving and
Yeah.
out serving is
Mhm.
very much a critical part of the ingredients in
Yes.
the recipe of marriage when you want it to work.
Absolutely.
And you will see the fruit of that. You will see the results,
Mhm.
favorable results of that. I believe that in Proverbs 14:1, it talks
Mm.
about a wise woman, a wise wife will build her house up, but
Yes.
a foolish one will tear her
Break
house down with
down.
her own hands.
Yes.
And so when
Oh my
I
gosh, you got to pause right there. You got to pause right there. On Sunday, I went to visit my mom and my sister. My mom's visiting, and it was my mom, me, my sister, and my sister's mini her, my little niece, and we watched Moana. And as you said that, the woman will tear it down with her own hands. I thought about at the end of Moana, who was a little girl who had the little stone to give back to the island. So someone stole her heart and she turned into like a demon. Like all her hair was gone. She was this black, volcanic person and she was just destroying the earth. But when Moana gave her back her heart, right, it just started to grow. So she was destroying the earth where she was a life giver, a life bearer. But once her heart was taken, she was destroying what she was created to give life to. So that just came to my mind when you said that verse. Wow, with her own hands.
Mhm.
The next question is Proverbs 19:14 says, "A house and wealth are inherited from fathers." Shout out, Shine Institute. We are an heir to inherit more in 24. Again, Proverbs 19:14 says, "A house and wealth are inherited from fathers, but a prudent or wise, prudent means wise, wife is from God." Okay? It's favor from God. What are some benefits of a kingdom wife, of a kingdom marriage?
Mm. So a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure and the honor of having my niece and goddaughter come visit.
Nice.
Both of them are newlyweds.
Nice.
And interestingly enough, we had a lot of wife conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And as I listened to them and as I shared with them, it was really a blessing to see how God will use specific examples in our relationship to
Mm-hmm.
share with others so that they could learn and they could be blessed by them.
Yeah.
A kingdom wife is one that is noble. It is so much of Proverbs 31. Oh my gosh. A
Mm-hmm.
kingdom wife has, as I stated earlier, the heart posture to love her husband, to protect his heart,
Mm-hmm.
um, to serve her husband and understand that submission is not a weakness.
It's not.
That submission is given to us to protect us.
Yes.
A kingdom wife is one who will support her husband. That's another whole story for another day. I remember a season when I wasn't supporting my husband, and I could see the fragmented brokenness just overall.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, come now, many years later, seeing the fruit of his labor coming by what God has ordained as what the kind of support that a helpmeet should give their husband.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, a kingdom wife is, I believe that anyone that thinks about marriage
Mm-hmm.
isn't to really be so concerned with the wedding. Now, I know that's not a very popular thing to say, and a lot of people will get very frustrated because, especially when I think about my nieces and goddaughters, it was all about the wedding and the dress
Yes.
and the ring and
Mm-hmm.
the. But that's one day.
Yeah.
And Tish, there's so much more
Oh,
to a
yes.
marriage and to a kingdom marriage
Yes.
that comes after that one day. So being certain that they understand that there's a lot more in the journey as a kingdom wife that will require their efforts, much more than planning the wedding
Yes.
efforts were.
Yes. I, man, all I can say is by having the word kingdom in front of wife, you have to use the the legs. If we're looking at a table or a chair, the four legs that holds it up, that can have that weight that goes on top, whatever you put on top of the table, whatever you sit on that chair, prayer, that kingdom in front of the wife, prayer,
Mhm.
Bible study, right? Knowing the manual, that handbook, that earthly handbook, prayer, Bible study, service. Because it's not about, the couple being cute. You're hottie. Okay, you are too. But are you doing God's work?
Mhm.
Right? And in terms of the widows, the homeless, the babies, and then the purpose, whatever he's calling that couple to be, making sure that she's helping to execute that vision,
Mhm.
whether he is in business or he is
Mhm.
preaching or whatever, it may be on the football field, right? So whatever his purpose is, just making sure that kingdom in front of the wife, that woman is edifying, she's building up, she is supporting and not tearing down, like you mentioned in your scripture. I love it. Okay. Let's see here. Next question. You are an amazing example of how a married person can bless a single person. I do understand the importance of community and grouping like with like. Can you explain your confidence in seeing the value of still connecting with your single sisters?
Absolutely. I believe that, well, first and foremost, I want to share that it's an honor to
Mhm.
have the word kingdom in front of my title of a wife.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't a competition or a trophy or a pageant that I won to get, it wasn't a Grammy that I
Yeah.
won to get that title. By no
Yes.
means. It was hitting rock bottom,
Mhm.
leaning on God, laying
Mhm.
everything at his feet, coming before the throne, and then bouncing back into the wife that I am today.
Yeah.
That is what allows me to have the word kingdom
Yeah.
before the word wife. And for my single sisters, I would say that it's very important that whether I'm with single women or married women, it's godly women.
I
And
love
that
it.
and that
Yes.
makes the difference for me.
Wow, that is so powerful. It's so powerful because, you just wrapped up what you just said. It just wraps up what I'm about to say. Some people in the commandments, God says, do not have any idol before me. And some Mr. R.C. Bishop R.C. Blake's talk about the society idolizes marriage. And some, like you said, maybe focus on the pageantry, maybe focus on the glitz and the glam that can come like with the Hollywood stars, and they're so cute together. Right now you have Taylor Swift with one of the guys from the Cheese,
Travis Kelsey.
yeah, Travis Kelsey, and it's so pretty and exciting and butterflies, but it's so much more. It's so
Oof.
much more because when the tough times come, and they will,
Mhm.
that you are able to endure,
Come
you're
on.
able to shoulder the
Mhm.
burden. And Another young lady, Miss Heather Lindsay, that I used to follow with Pinky
Mhm.
Promise Sisters in Atlanta. I believe she's now in California. She talked about, you know, a marriage is a gift. It's birth on that wedding day. And just like when a baby is born, we believe that there's a holy angel assigned to that baby to protect and guard and be with that person, right?
Mhm.
We believe in guardian angels. She mentioned that there was an adversary, a demon assigned to destroy. Just know
Mm.
that it's not
Mm.
only physical, it
Mhm.
is a spiritual
Oh,
war.
100%. And no one really tells you that when you first get married.
Yep.
I actually, I have seen and liked Heather Lindsay's and Cornelius's posts and
Yes.
their messages before.
Yes.
They've been powerful. One of my favorite things about marriage is that once I understood it was God's idea,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is all his plan. Like
Exactly.
marriage is God's idea.
Mhm.
Marriage restoration is
Yes.
God's idea.
Absolutely.
And there's a blessing that comes with anything
Yes.
that God ordained, that God engineered, and
Mhm.
that God originated. So yes, that is that's a beautiful piece right there.
Yes, for sure. That's so cool that you know the Lindsays.
I've seen them on social media,
Yeah.
and my algorithms have stayed with them for a while, and I can respect a lot of their different shares.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I really like Heather. I went to her conference back in 2016 in Atlanta. It was
Mhm.
very good.
Mhm.
She's done awesome. And so we are at the bottom. I have two more questions left for you. What would
Okay.
be one misconception you would change about marriage if you could? People have their own ideas about marriage. What would be a myth or a lie that people think about marriage that you would like to correct?
Mm, I would say that it's easy. I think that some folks, no matter how many times they hear about it, they believe that it's easy. I remember when I was pregnant,
Mhm.
used to get as pregnant women, you get a lot of unsolicited advice from
Mhm.
people in the grocery store or with family reunions, things like that.
Mhm.
And so, you kept hearing, oh, it's going to go so fast. And you would hear it and you're like, okay, okay. Applying that, liken that to marriage,
Mhm.
there are so many things that I was so excited
Mhm.
about getting married that I
Mhm.
didn't care to hear that it wasn't easy, but
Mhm.
it's not.
Mhm.
It's not for the weary. It's
Yeah.
not something that is meant to be easy, because when you think about things that are easy, when you think about things that come so easily, that don't require effort
Mhm.
and strength and passion
It's not
and
appreciated.
time,
Mhm.
it's not. So
Mhm.
there's an investment
Yes.
that I want people to understand
Yep.
is really what helps build your marriage. No, it's not easy, but that doesn't mean that it's not for you.
And
And that
it's worth
doesn't mean
it.
that it's not possible for you. It is one bite at a time. What do we say? It is
Keep the elephant.
one day at a time. Some days it's half a day at a
I
time.
like that.
But it can absolutely work for your good. I love Romans 8:28.
Yes.
All
Yes.
things, all things, including marriage,
Thing.
work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose.
Yes. Preach, sister.
Marriage is the same.
Yes. I
It's
love
not easy,
it.
but it's so rewarding.
It is. I believe it with my whole heart.
Yes.
What do you love most about marriage, and how can you encourage other wives to fight?
Oh gosh, that's a really fabulous question. What do I love most about marriage? I love the companionship.
Mhm.
I love that I get to live and do life with someone who is rooting for me, and
Yes.
I in turn get to root for him.
Yeah.
I know Jesus came and was always about relationships, and
Yeah.
so understanding that um, this is such an important, prioritized relationship in my life.
Mhm.
Um, it's a blessing. It is a gift. I enjoy also learning more and more things about my spouse and having him learn things about me. 26 years in the game, but we're still learning.
Yeah.
Um, I also love that we were able to, create a family, and
Mhm.
that was God's idea too. And He always knew that that was going to, come to play. Our
Yeah.
boys are our everything, and so Team
Right.
Eden is something that is so special to us,
Mhm.
that each one of us have a role in this family. And as the wife and the mother,
Mhm.
it's something that I'm very, very godly proud of.
That's amazing. Amazing. How can the listening audience get in touch with you if they want to hire you as their wife coach, if they want to follow you on social platforms? Please, now is the time to share.
Oh, my pleasure. So this month specifically, God had given me a download, Tish,
Nice.
and I have a campaign called Legendary Love.
Mm.
Legendary love is something that is an all year round love. I know that society will have us thinking, the sensationalism
Yeah.
around Valentine's Day can put a
Yes.
lot of pressure on people that are married or people that are single.
Yeah.
But legendary love is not about one day. It's not even about one month. It's all year round love. And
Yes.
I
Every
invite
day.
I invite folks to follow me on all of the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Clubhouse, and X, Twitter, and really follow my legendary love posts. Like them. If they resonate with you, share it with another. People that send me messages on Instagram or on Facebook, wives that are interested in, speaking with me and being encouraged, I will always respond to them. www.nerissaedden.com
Nice.
is the site to find me on. But nonetheless, I want folks to know, and women, wives, and future wives, to
Yeah.
understand that the bounce back is real, and the bounce back is theirs too. It's theirs for the taking.
Yes, yes, you've heard it here from our kingdom marriage champion herself, Miss Nerissa Edden. You have all of her information. I hope that you take advantage of all of her wisdom and posts and call her up. She can help you bounce back and come on back from whatever opportunities you may be experiencing. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Keep shining.